Hello, this is Three of Skeins and Crochet Podcast, episode 93, and I am Lisa.
And I'm Cryss.
Hey, nice to see you. Please like and subscribe. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's hot. That's it. It's hot.
Just wearing nothing special.
Yeah, nothing special. What are you wearing today, Cryss?
I gotta weave in some ends, but my t-shirt's pretty much done. See, there's a little end sticking out there. It's fine. But yeah, because I really was hoping to finish it in time for New Year's Eve Bowl this weekend, so I had to actually get up off my butt and sew it together, and I did. And I love my cables down the front. I think it's very cute. I'm very happy. I love my green trim.
So, does she have a name yet?
You know what? Last night I was thinking maybe the peony top. The peony's kind of pink.
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure it's right. So I was thinking peony because it's definitely, the whole flower inspiration with the color and the body color and then the green trim. So that might be it. There's at the very least her unofficial name. But yeah, she's finished. And I didn't run out of yarn.
Oh, I'm curious. How much of that pink yarn did you end up having left?
So I had less than one skein left. I would say probably around half a skein. So I think I did save myself a significant amount of yarn by not doing the cables on the back. The thing was, I bought 2 skeins of the green. And if I had just switched out one of those greens for a pink, it would have been fine. But we are where we are, and that's okay because I'm still just very, very happy with my top.
Yeah.
So remember, I made the front a little too narrow, so I made the back wider. As you can see, you can't really tell from the front. It just moves my side seam up just a little tiny bit. So my side seam is more here than, dead center. But it's really, it doesn't make a difference. You can't really tell.
No.
So, and I've been meaning to show y'all this, and I kept forgetting. But this is the original top that I made like a few years ago. Oh, and this is the remake of. So this, I did the background stitch double crochet and my cables are treble crochet. So it has overall just a lot more stretch than this one. When I switched to doing my background stitch single crochet and the cables double crochet, that's how I ended up making the front a little too narrow because I was counting on more stretch than I actually had. But yeah, so this is the original version of the top, and it's just a little color changing yarn. And I think this one, the bottom edging I did in linen stitch. Yeah. This one I just did in regular single crochet. So some minor changes, but.
So how do you like how this fabric wears?
I like it. It's very comfortable. So it's cotton, viscose, and linen. And it's very soft. I wouldn't give it I wouldn't either steam it or iron it. It's a little wrinkled from just being in my project bag. But yeah, I would definitely use this yarn again. Definitely, absolutely, without reservation. I would use this yarn again.
I just wrote my my finished optic post about my t-shirt, my lace tee. And one of the instructions in the care said, do not iron.
Oh.
So just be aware, if you are going to decide to iron it, I would use a cool iron and a pressing cloth.
Oh, so, okay. Does that also mean no steaming, or?
I wouldn't steam it either.
So what do you do for wrinkles?
I would hang it up in the shower while I showered. Okay. And just let it gently steam.
This is unexpected. Because I've been counting on pressing the wrinkles out.
Well, you can probably do it. I would just not use the highest setting. I use maybe the wool setting or the one step lower than that. And I would use a pressing cloth. But I plan to iron mine too. I'm just making you aware. This is not something to put a hot iron on. It's the viscose.
Good to know. Well, there's that. But yeah, so my top is just about done, but for the weaving in and ends, which almost doesn't count.
Yeah.
I will tuck it in and pretend it's not there.
Put a brooch on it.
Okay. So, finished out.
Okay, that's so exciting. Okay, leading off with a finished object. I don't even know what to say now.
I'm a tough act to follow.
You are. You are. That is absolutely correct. I am working on my sock. All right. Knitting socks is addictive. And especially when it's a big long tube of stockinetting around that you can just let your fingers go and let your mind wander. I'm really liking it. So let me just finish this needle and I will show you guys where I'm up to at this point. So this is the cuff. I've knit the first foot and leg and I've put in a second lifeline and I'm knitting the second leg right now. So this is going to be approximately twice this length when I'm done. And I was like, you know, toying around with matching my socks and all of that, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't feel like stopping and cutting my yarn and figuring out where in the next skein I was. So what I decided to do instead is to make them fraternal socks and just knit until I completely finished my first ball and then continue the striping pattern in the second ball to work through the second leg of the sock.
Now these balls, they don't like make a point of starting at the same place in the striping pattern. Some do. I've heard of this.
You know what? It's usually not hard to figure out because it's not one of those striping patterns that doesn't repeat exactly. It repeats exactly.
Yeah.
So I can easily find where it is. But I think in the spirit of Halloween, having them not quite match will be actually part of the fun for me.
Sometimes I feel like even if it wasn't a Halloween side, you'd be pretty zen with this, but okay.
I am totally zen with it. I love it, love it, love it. I love the colors, how they're playing out. This Oink Pigments green that I have popping off this Patton's Croy is bringing me a lot of joy. Now, I only had one 25-gram pigtail of this yarn. And I searched around on the internet and everything I found said, yeah, you can do cuffs, heels, and toes out of 25 grams. So we're going to see. We're going to see how that is. What I should have done was when I finished knitting this cuff, I should have waited to see how much my particular cuff took. But that'll be for next time. And I will see. But happily, we're a very yarny household. So I was looking in Mom's random ball stash because we're those people. And Mom has a random ball stash. And I found this green.
I like that.
Yeah, isn't this nice? This
and it's sparkly. It's got sparkles.
A little bit of sparkle because I love to sparkle. I don't know what yarn it is. Because Mom was saying, Mom was saying, you know, I was doing this thing for a while where I decided to just ball all my yarn and I didn't save the ball bands. But she stopped after a while. So if I run out of that other green, I will just do heels and or toes in this. And it'll still work with my color scheme. And it'll just have a little bit of sparkle to it.
I like that. You should do both heels in it.
Isn't that fun?
Maybe you have left. Feel free to pass it over this way.
Oh no, Mom already said whatever stuff she wants.
Oh, well then.
Just like you can't keep the rest of that. Feel free to use a little for your heels and toes.
She must be all selfish.
Yeah, she's made it clear what's going on with that yarn. Apparently, she bought this from over in San Diego.
Oh.
And she has a plan.
Many years ago, we went to San Diego and we did our own little yarn crawl and we visited 3 stores and it was lovely.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. We were a little scary in one store, but well,
it's like in this like an industrial park. So when the Uber driver pulled up, I was like, "Don't leave us here."
It's like it's the right place.
But it was the right place.
And it was a lovely
fun.
shop, yeah. So I wanted to share with you guys my mood board that I did when I was coming up with the idea for these socks. Now, when I pulled this out of my yarn bin, I was like, Halloween. So that was literally my first thought when I saw this. But I wanted to make it very Halloween-y. So I did a mood board to sort of gather my thoughts.
And we'll put in a picture.
Yeah, there'll be a big picture.
Stop trying to make it focus thing.
Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. I'm sure you'll be happy to not have those blurry sections of our videos anymore. But what I came up with was, I knew I wanted to put a clock on the sock. And I think I thought about putting a clock on the sock just because I had seen some old socks recently. I think there was something in piecework or something. Now then I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to put a clock on the sock? And a sock clock
you might want to tell people what that is.
It's just a bit of embroidery that runs up from the point where the heel joins the sock. So it runs up either side of the leg. And it used to be done that way because socks were sewn at one point, and they would piece it together there, and they would put that embroidery on it to kind of hide the stitching. So I decided that my clock was going to be this cute little skeleton that you'll see here. Matter of fact, I just transferred it. This is colorwork knitting paper. It came from Road Knitting. It was on sale, as a matter of fact. If you sign up for their website, for their emails, because they do have sales pretty frequently, and if you want some of this. So because it was actually quite small and I hate working off a screen, I just transferred it onto my knitter's graph paper. And I like this one for colorwork because it's shaped like stitches. I numbered it and
my eyes hurt.
You gotta get used
the paper by itself, the blank paper.
Yeah. So I numbered each line and I was able to just copy off this pattern. This was a free pattern I found on Pinterest. Actually, it's for people who make bracelets out of those little pearl beads.
Little seed beads?
Not even seed beads, like almost like children's beads, those ones. So I thought he would be a cute little addition to run up the side of my socks. As you can see, I considered the bats too, but I'm definitely sticking with the skeleton. And a matter of fact, to figure out how to place my clock, because I wasn't exactly sure where it went, I found an old pattern for a clock for a sock, and on the pattern, which you will see much larger later, and you probably won't even see me at this point because it'll just come on the screen, it'll be cool. It showed me exactly where the clocks go, because I wasn't sure if there was one clock or two clocks on the sock. But that's it, my clocks, my socks with the clocks, yay. So I want you guys to consider trying out doing mood boards when you're thinking about your projects, because it really helps, at least it helps me figure out what I like, how to do things, what motifs I might want to add. And there's something to me that's kind of magical about seeing everything together on one surface. I can edit it, I can remove things, I can put things, but I can see what colors emerge. I can see, because sometimes when I start something, I don't necessarily have a full grasp of what it's going to be in the end. And I can see what emerges, what themes come up, at least visually, on my mood board. So when I'm going around the internet looking for images,
you are a very abstract thinker, and I think you can go from mood board collection of images to to a sock. Someone like me is much more linear thinker. I like everything to be in a nice straight line. I don't know. I'm struggling with the whole mood board thing. It seems very, right-brained, and I feel they're left-brained, and I don't know.
Well, I don't know what side of the brain I'm on. I think I'm middle brain.
I don't know if that's
You know, medulla oblongata.
Say words.
I think I'm middle brain because, like I said, I didn't set out looking for any of those things. The only thing I started with on this particular mood board was I had the picture of the yarn. I had the yarn already, so there you go. But all I'm doing is grabbing anything I like. I don't pre-qualify it when I'm just grabbing.
But then you need a search term though. If you don't pre-qualify, how do you even have a search term?
My search term was Halloween. And
that's so broad though.
Right.
How do you then go from that to like specific things? Like you had a little picture of like a crescent moon with some flowers.
Right.
Why is that there? What does that
I liked
communicate to you?
I liked it. And it's sort of similar colors to what's in my yarn. And that's why.
See, it's just that simple for her.
It is. It was similar colors to what's in my yarn. Plus they had brought in some other colors. And I thought it was pretty, and it said Halloween.
Okay.
I mean, like this picture over here, the one with all the cats and skeletons and stuff, I thought about doing cats because I saw a cute cat chart, but I got over the cat. I was like, skeleton, I want something more vertical. But as I was looking at the various charts, I was like, yeah, no, I don't want that. I want something. That's how I figured out, I want something vertical.
I just mean to say I find mood boards challenging for some reason. But I see people's mood boards, and it's definitely a FOMO thing. It's absolutely a FOMO thing. I do feel like I am missing out, but
and for
I
me,
guess because I can't figure out how to use them. Really, I don't know.
Well, like I said, that the whole thing is not. It's like, you see what emerges out of the consciousness soup that you're making. And you have to bake the soup in order to see what will emerge. Yeah. So by just dumping everything together on one page, and I had more stuff, but I kept subtracting things when I didn't like how it was playing with everything else.
I'm gonna try this whole board thing again, but I don't like my chances.
Go for it. Go for it. And just like I said, put everything on one space. And I like doing my mood boards in pages. I wouldn't do it in what's that thing?
Canva?
Not Canva. Well, you can.
Freeform.
Freeform. It's another program on the iPad, but because the Freeform board is so big,
yeah,
it's too much space. I like that I'm limited to a normal one piece of paper size space. I turn it landscape, and I work that way, and it just creates a limit that I find very useful. But give it a try. Definitely give mood boarding a try. What's going on with you, Cryss? I see some cheeky swatches over there.
I don't know that they're cheeky.
Oh, they're cheeky.
They're just swatches. So I mentioned that I'm swatching, and I actually misplaced my Sis dictionary at the moment, but we'll find it. I must have taken a picture and
left it somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Goodness. But yes, so I have some swatches from my Japanese Sis dictionary. And we'll do close-up photos of them. But this was the first one.
The one with the scalp.
Yeah, with little scallops on the sides. And I think that's so cute. And you can see it's got a waffle weave effect going on. So it's got some texture. It's completely closed. So if you were going to make a top out of this, it would be opaque. But it's got this fun little scallop detail. So I would probably turn whatever I was making sideways and get those scallops at the top and the bottom. But then this one actually had the scalloping at the top. So you don't have to turn it if you don't want to, but it's almost like a variation on this stitch, and both of them use single crochet. And again, it'll give you a nice opaque fabric. And I'm working from my cones. I've got Valley Yarns, Valley Cotton from Webs. And I'm just using a 3.75 millimeter hook for my swatches. And then there was this one, which, it's almost, because it's tiny little spaces in it, it almost has like an eyelet effect.
Yeah.
And I love just, it's different having the swatch that you made yourself. From the pictures in the book. You just notice details that you're not really going to see just from those pictures. For instance, in that particular pattern book, you don't see any of the edges, so I wouldn't have seen any of that scalloping. They cut all of that out, and so you just see a section of the stitch pattern. So you get to see details that you probably wouldn't have noticed otherwise, just making your own swatches, and I am enjoying that. And this one in particular I like because it's like a variation on a mesh.
Oh, pretty.
But it's giving you like those vertical elements, but then the mesh is kind of zigzagging.
Yeah, it's almost like a sideways V-stitch.
Yeah. So if I wanted to do something that was a mesh, this would just be a fun alternative to just the straight up and down grid, but still gives mesh. And so far I'm loving my swatching project. So far I'm just very, very happy having the swatches to hold in my hand, see what the fabric does. You know, like this is a much tighter, denser stitch. This one's going to give me more drape and more movement, so I can play with these swatches. I can see this one drew in more. So I have somewhere around 32-ish stitches for both swatches. But as you can see, one tightened up a lot, and this one stayed very open.
Yeah.
So I can also get an idea of how much it's going to narrow and make some swatches, y'all. I feel like I made 4, and I feel like I'm already learning something.
Yes.
And because I'm designing myself, this will give me a better idea of just how to manipulate the fabric to get the desired effects. Very, very happy. And I'm having fun. It's just a nice, restful thing to do while I'm like watching TV or something. Just whip up a few swatches. And because the swatch has like this definite beginning and end, and it doesn't take as long as like a full project.
Yeah.
You get that little mini accomplishment high, like, oh, I finished a thing, even though it's a little swatch. I finished a thing. And that is carrying me through this period where I'm taking a little break from making actual garments, but I'm still feeling like I've accomplished something.
But you are creating your own 3-dimensional stitch dictionary.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I highly recommend it. I really do. But yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment, because I probably won't start anything at least until after New Jersey Sheeping Wool this weekend, when I get some new yarn in and see if I want to play with it. But yes, that's what's going on with me.
I have another project on the go.
Yes, of course.
This is my, and I'm going to tell you the exact name this time. Look at me with a bookmark. It is the Fit and Flare Trumpet Skirt. I couldn't remember that last week to save my life. So this is from the book Knitting Lingerie Style. And this is the picture in the book. And this is mine. Oh, and this upside down. That's the only thing about knitting the skirt from top down. I feel it's
upside down all the time.
Yeah, I feel a little disoriented. But yeah, as you see, I have made some progress. I'm very happy. Now this center section of the skirt that starts here under the garter stitch, that's going to be 15 inches long. And I've got about 8 inches of that done so far. So I've got, what, another 9 inches to go? Checking that with the calculator.
7 is okay.
Yeah, I have some more to go, but not as much as I had in the past. So
we used to play spades and Scrabble, and she doesn't get to keep score.
No.
She doesn't. Just simple arithmetic. I don't know why. She can do it.
I can't do math under pressure of any kind.
That's not pressure. We're playing a game.
I can't do math under pressure of
So
any
Lisa
kind.
doesn't get to keep score.
No. I'll keep time.
And as you saw, 9 and 8 was 15.
Yeah. You know, we shop at a produce market, right? They are informal, to say the least. Great selection of fruit and vegetable, great variety. But when it's time to check out, you go up to the front and you unload your things onto the counter and someone is there going 12, 14, 27.
They're keeping a running
32.
total as you put things
They're
up
just
on the counter.
adding it up like in their minds. And if that was my job, sometimes you get a great deal and sometimes you get a terrible deal. And that's how it is for me. I'm like,
Just one more little thing. One time we went to this yarn sale and all their transactions were in cash. So, you know, we were buying yarn literally by like the garbage bag. But we've talked about this before, the hotel sale. Mm-hmm. And Lisa was trying to check out and she's counting her money. And Mom was talking to her, I was talking to her, and she's getting increasingly frustrated at first. She just yells, "I'm counting here!"
I'm like, just stop saying things. I'm trying to count.
And the person waiting to check her out just started laughing.
You know what? She makes it sound like it was like all light and easy, but it wasn't, okay? I had to start counting over and over again. They were saying numbers, and it would like mess up my count. And that man could have waited till I walked away to laugh at him. But okay.
It was funny in the moment. So we point is we left her alone and we let her count.
Yes.
And she was able to purchase her.
At long last.
Point is, Lisa is not a math-based person.
I am not.
As she has said.
I admit it. I'm not a math-based person. So anyway, I did another try-on this week because I have, more existing skirt. And it fits just fine. It's a great fit. I really like how it fits. So I'm going to encourage you. It's going to be a pain in the butt, but take the thing off the needles and try it on frequently, especially as you're getting started, because it's so much easier to pull something out when there's just a little bit of it than to be surprised at the very end.
How exactly do you do that?
Oh, what I do is I have my needles, right? So I pick a winner and I take a sewing needle, a tapestry needle with some waste yarn on it, and I run it through each stitch.
And you just have to go through under each loop.
Yeah, I just run it through each stitch all the way around. And as I'm doing that, I'm pulling out this needle, and the stitches on this needle, this side, are still being held by the needle and the cord. And I keep a stopper on the end of the needle I'm not working on. That way, no little accidentes. Right. And once it's off, you can see the true size of the thing, because this is scrunched up on a needle. I can't even measure this accurately. So just so that there's no terrible surprises at the end, because I had already ripped this whole thing out when I had maybe this much of the top plus another inch or so of the top of the skirt. And did I like doing that? No, but it didn't fit at all.
Yeah. And
the voice in my head already was saying, this thing seemed big. You sure about this? And I kept telling it, yeah, it's fine. And then, it kept saying, honey, are you sure? So I said, all right, I'm going to try it on. And that's when I saw that, this had no relationship to my body. It was just way too big. So, but I didn't knit the whole skirt. Yeah. Way too big.
Don't do that.
And then sit somewhere crying and ripping it out.
Don't cry though.
I would cry. I would absolutely cry. And it's making my yarn economy much more reasonable, because every inch was taking a skein. And I should have known something was up just from that. I haven't gone through 6 skeins yet. I'm still working on the 3 I wound last week. So just to make your yarn last, work for you better, I might get a tank top out of my remainder, which would be exciting. That would be so exciting. But that's all that's going on with her. So far, I love her. This is Lino from Trendsetter. It's called Lino hand dyed. And I think it's because it's the short stripes. So they are doing something really fun on the fabric. It's a cotton and linen blend, more cotton than linen. And this is actually washable and dryable. I think this is like the first thing I've made this summer that I can really like wash and dry, and it should be fine. But just because I have done my other experiment, I'm going to run my swatch through the machine, through the washer and the dryer before I do anything with the skirt, just so I know exactly what's going to go down.
Oh, you know what? I didn't rip out my swatch because I've stopped doing that. So I can iron my swatch and see what happens.
Yes.
Whew.
It's taking years. Okay, you don't know what just happened here. This is a moment. Because I don't know how many times I said, oh, well, you can still have your swatch. And she'd be like,
and I'm like, I'm looking at her like, why would I have the swatch? I don't understand the question. But yeah, I have a swatch.
Oh, you go, girl. All right. But that's it. I've got how many more inches to go on the body?
7.
I've got 7 more inches to go on the body, and then I will start the flare of the.
I feel like I could have
of
just
the
told you
skirt.
any number.
Yeah, you could. And I'd have agreed. But you have integrity. You wouldn't do that, okay?
I have math integrity.
You have math integrity. But that's what's going on with my skirt. I'm happy and excited to be working on both of these projects. Oh, I forgot to show my book. So I'm doing the knit 2 socks in 1 method to make the sock. So far, it makes for some very soothing knitting. I'm not mad at it. And I have to like sort of wrestle with myself because all I want to do is work on that sock. So I have to really make sure and give some love to my skirt too. Yesterday I timed myself out and I was like, okay, you spent 2 hours on that sock.
How very grown up of you.
You got to give the skirt 2 hours.
Mother, the third skein, has purchased a new crochet pattern book, and it is called Crochet Sweaters with a Textured Twist, and it's by Lingerie, a Latvian designer, and I have been thumbing through it. Me likey. But I'm familiar with Lingerie's work, and I love her designs anyway. She's just doing some really beautiful kind of like structural things with crochet. But there's one pattern in here, and we'll pop in a picture, but I'm just gonna show it to you. It's called the Sneaks Snow Sweater, and there's a picture, but it's very simple. It's petite, but it's also very chunky. And this is, I mentioned in a recent video that I really wanted to like lean into, like if I use a heavier yarn, I want to do a design that relies on the chunkiness instead of like just pretending it's not happening. And I feel like this design does that by having that horizontal element that's meant to stand out. It has all these textured pieces, but it also has these openings in it, which are just kind of relieving some of that chunkiness. So you're getting like this interplay of the chunkiness and then like the negative space. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So I don't know if I'm gonna make exactly this or like a version of it, but this is like an example of what I would like to do, where you just
with chunky yarn.
Yes. Yeah. So I just want to show it to y'all because I think she's pretty. So Mom snuck some temptation into the house. Like, I don't have enough things in my queue to worry about. But I just found me a cute little chunky sweater. We have sheep and wool this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I am too. I'm excited. But yeah, I think that's all that's going on with us.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to share one thing. This is what I'm wearing is my outline tank. And I'm hiding my bra straps. But love wearing it. It's very comfortable and I wear it at home all the time.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? This combination of cotton and Tencel is delicious. It's so smooth and soft to the touch and airy. And it washes and dries just fine.
I just got some Tencel jeans and they are a revelation.
Oh, those new jeans you got at Tencel?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't think I realized it because on the website, I got them from this company, Lucky Brand. I say it like it's not a popular company, but I got it from Lucky Brand. It's my first time shopping there. And they called them liquid denim. So I just assumed they were denim. But when I got them and I took them out the package, they were immediately very, very soft. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, wow, I've never had denim like this that felt so good. It's not denim. It's Tencel. So it's not cotton, basically.
Wow.
It's a wood fiber. Most Tencel is made with eucalyptus, but it can be made with other kinds of wood as well. And just based on those jeans, I'm ready to dive into Tencel yarn head first.
Yeah. Crystal, I wear this so much because it's so comfortable.
It's softer even than cotton. And yes. It has that kind of satiny hand that you actually feel with acrylic a lot.
Yes.
But it's just going to be so much more breathable and comfortable to wear.
Don't hold it together with some cotton. Chef's kiss.
And what is that called? I know you just said the name and I missed it.
What?
Your top.
Oh, this is the outline tank. I can't remember who the designer is. Jessie Mead Designs. Oh, and if you have not gone over to Hobie yet, people are snapping up.
Speaking of
Happy Place yarn. I know.
Now I'm like, I'm gonna need to get some.
Girl, as soon as they restock, I'm getting me some.
But you know what? I'm gonna wait till after sheep and wool because I have to see how much I spend.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
So we'll see on Monday if I can actually buy some.
The yarn debuted on Sheep and Wool weekend and I had plans. So I will look through what's left probably, like you said, on Monday. Let's see how we're doing.
But that's what's going on with us. Do feel free to let us know what all's going on with you down in the comments. And yes. Thank you for watching. And please like and subscribe. It really does make our mom happy. Yes. She keeps telling us, oh, you guys have new subscribers, if you see. So,
and she's like, you have to say that at the beginning.
I know.
Okay. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye. And stay stitching.